Hello, hello. This is We Wednesday. We are in this together, Robert Bolden Life Transformed. And I am so excited to bring this to you. Come live here. Oh, I'm getting feedback. I wonder why. Okay, here we go. Hello. Can you hear me? All right. Yes, we're live here. We Wednesday. We are in this together where I share some aha moments. And today I'm going to get right into this because it was a lot. It was a lot, and it was from today. We got Allison Ashley here. She's doing a little retreat out here in Asheville. And it's how our community works. We can go from a Monday call to hop on a plane, get out here, and do some good work in resetting lives. So that is available and possible for you. So let's get right into it. Again, this is going to be a lot of reading. All right. Let me start with not everyone in the church loves Jesus. You can't take the label and leave the lifestyle. So think about that in the context of there are a lot of people who say they're Christians. And again, not condemning or anything like that. But you have to be very discerning with who you let into your inner circle. You can have people in your life because they have to be in your life. Could be a spouse, a son, a daughter, a work manager, whatever. But you don't have to make them of your life. Okay, you got to be very careful about who you make of your life, because those are the folks that are going to be speaking into you and guiding you. And that's who you're going to become. You will become the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's just going to happen. Thank you, Robert Kiyosaki. So if you don't like what you see, you need to change those people. That's what he spoke into me, oh my gosh, years and years ago. And it was like life-changing. Life-changing. So take that to heart. Use that as wisdom. Take a look at the 5 people you spend the most time with in your life. And if you don't like what you see, you got to change those people, no matter who they are. No matter who they are. And you got to get another group of people around you, right? John Maxwell always talks about if you're the lead dog in the group, you better get another group, right? You better get another group. So, the constant quest to surround yourself with wise people, I think, is so powerful. And to not let yourself fall into, here we're talking about, because somebody says they're a Christian or they're a believer or whatever it is, don't just give them carte blanche to your life. Because there's a difference in following Jesus, learning and understanding what he taught, his lifestyle. Big difference. And saying, oh, yeah, I believe in Jesus. But then look at the fruit of their life. What are they doing? If you just followed them around all day, what would you see? Right? That's what, again, John Maxwell, another piece of wisdom that he shared. Don't ask a person what they're all about. Just look at their schedule. See how they spend their time. Where are they spending their time? They don't have to say a word. Oh, I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you. I don't know. It might be on my end. Let's see. Try something now. I can't hear you, but it's showing up on the recording, so I think we're fine. It's probably on my end. Let me see. Speaker. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now say something.
Time, talent, and
I can
treasure.
hear you. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, and what you're saying is similar to being in the world, but not of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Next point. People's personal behavior can be different than what is behind the scenes. It's what people show you.
Mm-hmm.
And then but we see examples of this all the time, right? And the verse cited there is Proverbs 5, 3-5. And oh my gosh, that is, let me get that. Said this is going to be a lot, but it's all good stuff. It's all really good stuff. So Proverbs 5, 3-5 says, let's get to it. Here we go. Proverbs 5. Good old Solomon says, one more page flip. For the lips of the adulterous woman drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is bitter as gall, sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. Ooh! Got to be careful out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people can present one way, but lead you down a path. So it's all about being aware. And that's what, sharing like we do here on We Wednesday is all about, sharing to hopefully provide some new awareness for you, or just a reinforcement. Okay. Next, let's see. Are you a churchgoer, or are you living for Jesus? You can know all the scriptures. You can show up. You can be in Bible studies. You can do all this stuff. And that's all good. Not really. If you're not taking the action and following Jesus and modeling it, and your life is the fruit of that. So you don't have to ask a person again, look at the fruit. Look at the fruit in their lives. Just look at it.
Action speaks louder than words.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just look at, when I think about this, I'm thinking about a person's heart, because this was revealed today in this thing. A person's heart will be revealed by their words and their actions. What they do and what they say, how they react in stressful situations. How do they react? And it's not a bad thing if people, I've come a long way, even in the last year and a half, with my actions and reactions to things. Come a long way. But what I know, and hey, Tim, how are you, brother? I love it.
Hey, Tim.
I'm just in the middle of the riff. You can join in as we go.
Gotcha.
Right? So I'm talking about the heart is revealed through what you say and your actions or reactions. So I was just saying, this isn't a bad thing or a good thing. It's just the real thing. So if I catch myself reacting in a certain way to something external, I just look at me. I'm like, well, that's my heart. Something in me that's making me react that way. Got nothing to do with them. It's all about me. And we're talking about, Tim, basically the topic is people presenting themselves as Christians, but not really following Jesus. That's the big context. And it was someone can attend church every week, small groups, tied regularly, but doing those things for show, not genuine love of Jesus. People in church not following Jesus in relationship with him. And the reminder in this devotional was Judas. After seeing all the miracles, his heart still chose dollars over Jesus. Right? After seeing all that firsthand. So if Judas could fall prey to that and still go for money, I mean, it can happen to anybody. I know people now that one dude in particular I'm speaking into that's in my little group. And he's like, oh, woe is me. I have to work this job at the, at the big box store because I need money. Boy, but I love Jesus and I'm following Jesus and I trust in him. The other day I said, dude, you don't love Jesus. And he looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, you're always complaining about working at this store and they're having you work all these crazy hours and you can't do stuff. Where's your faith that Jesus is going to provide? And he just kind of got the big eyes and kind of looked at me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But he's starting now, after I had that discussion with him, now he's starting to interact with me and ask me more questions. So this is good, right? This is good. You can't let the fear overwhelm you.
Robert, the other thing with Judas, I've heard this, and I don't know what it was. It was just about money, but he was very impatient. He wanted Jesus to declare himself, and he wanted the kingdom. He was impatient, and I've heard it argued that he was doing that in order to force Jesus's hand. That if he did that, Jesus would have to make himself known and say, "Okay, here we go." I don't know. It was like he knew better. Like he thought he knew better than Jesus. It was about him and what he wanted.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, Judas was not that different from a lot of the people who hung around Jesus, in the sense that the primary motivation was worldly kingdom.
Right.
Yeah.
Power now.
Yeah.
Power now.
Yeah.
And so that was all about status.
Yeah.
And money was a part of that, but I don't really know that the money wasn't as important to Judas as it's often been portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
What Judas wanted was to be on the inside of the new ruling power, the new ruling elite.
Yeah.
And he saw all of Jesus's power and his magnetism, and he said, God, this guy's got it. Yeah. I want to get on his bus.
Mm-hmm.
But as many have learned, Jesus was not up to that kind of a game. He said, my kingdom is not of this world. My kingdom is not of this world. And when Judas really saw that, he's not going to do it. He was just so discouraged. But the thing that's interesting is after he betrayed him, he repented. I mean, in the sense that he really got.
Yes.
And he went back.
Right.
He said, "Here's your money. I don't want your money. This guy's innocent."
Yep.
And they said, "Well, too late now, buddy."
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
And then now he's stuck with, I don't have the worldly kingdom. I betrayed my friend who really was the truth and really, I don't got anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he went out, hung himself.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't got anything.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's such a tragic tale. Man.
It's it, Tim. We were talking right before this about, this is for me. Again, I'm only speaking from my perspective, right? It's just my perspective. But it's a litmus test I use on me. Anything that I hold on to in this world is a display of my faith in Jesus. So if I think, oh, this life, I'm afraid to die, and I gotta, well, I've got eternal life. I've got eternal life. So I always start there. And so if any oh woe is me creeps in, then I'm like, oh, what am I still holding on to in this world?
And yet, I got to say something, because that doesn't mean we shouldn't take care of our body, right? That's not important.
Oh, no,
And
no.
You're a good example. You're a good example of
Right,
that.
right.
So I just want to point out that's.
Oh, yeah,
not
you're
what I
right. You don't
But we
sit
have
there like a,
responsibility.
yeah, you don't sit there like a log and say, well, I'm just going to.
Yes.
No,
yes.
no. You got work to do. You got to be following Jesus, and he's telling us to do work. The other verse that was quoted in here, I talked about the adulterous woman. You know, the woman with the oily, says all the right words if it takes you down to the trash. Well, this is the man. If sinful men entice you, do not give in to them. That's from Proverbs 1:10. Right? Same way. There's people that are chameleons out there, men and women, that you got to just be so careful. And this devotional is on relationships. That's where the crux of this is. And then next, God won't withhold a good thing from us as we walk upright in any area of our life. And that's from Psalm 84:11. Any area of our life.
Yes.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
He won't hold. He said that he's not going to withhold any good thing from us. So again, how does that play out in your life? In my life, I always take 100% responsibility. If I don't have a good thing going on in my life, in whatever major purpose area of my life it is, then I look at me and I'm going up. I'm not upright in some area of my life, because God would not be withholding anything good if I was upright. And I these things, I always apply them to me, right? And live that way, and then share. I don't tell somebody else, well, you're probably not living upright. Right? You can't do that. Oh, I know you. Oh, this is going on over there. Well, are you living upright? Ah!
Yeah. Oh, very judgy.
Yeah. So I just got all fired up on this. And I'll just share one more thing, and then I'll let you guys riff a little bit. Oh, man. Psalm 119, 125. I am your servant. Give me discernment that I may understand your statutes. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
So that's what I ask for, is discernment. In this case, if you're single, like all three of us are on this screen, and you don't have to be searching for someone, or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Anyway, whatever. It's just look for discernment from God that we're in his will. And, I've gone through some learning here that whether I'm single or not, I'm going to be totally satisfied and content, because I want to know God's will. And as a wise person, Tim, who's on here, once said to me, when I was talking about this subject, he just goes like this. He's pointing at his wrist. I'm like, what are you trying to do? And he said, time. He said, when you're single, you've got more time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple. Think about it. It's simple, but it's true. You've got more time to go out, and wherever God's calling you, you can just go. You don't have to consult with someone else, and you can just go. That was Paul. That was Jesus. Jesus didn't have a home. He went from place to place to place to place to place, doing his Father's work. I got to go. We got to go. Can't stay here. But Jesus, there's lots of people here. Nope. We got to go to the next place. That's my Father's work. I got to do my Father's work. Go, 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 go. So that's it. I told you it was a lot. But any thoughts from either of you?
Nope, all good here.
All right. Allison,
I
anything
have a
else?
thought. I love that devotion, and I'm going to text you to send it to me so I can look at it.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We Wednesday. We are in this together. Love you, love you, love you. Join us every Wednesday at about this time. Sorry, I went a little bit over today, but thank you so much for joining us. And Tim, I'll invite you. I don't know if you got something going on right now. We're going to give Ricky a call.
On this or on Stripe or on Zoom?
Zoom.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I could be on for a little while.
All right,
until
that'd be
about 1:30.
Yeah, that's all we got. We got just a quick one. All right.
Okay.
See y'all.
See y'all.
Okay.
Blessings.
Thanks. Okay, bye.
Bye.